Hey there YouTube, hope you guys are doing well. I'm coming at you today with a betta fish care video. And if this is a really impromptu video, I just decided to do it spur of the moment. So if I say some weird things or if I pause, I'm just trying to think of the next thing to say, so ignore me. Anyway, betta fish, these guys are awesome. I've had quite a few over the last several years, and I really enjoy keeping them. As you can see, here's mine right here. I'm sure you guys have seen him in other videos. He's a black crown tail, or black orchid crown tail betta. And this light's not really catching in that well, which is why his colors look kind of bad right now. But anyway, let's get on with betta fish care. First thing I want to say about these guys is there's a lot of myths that I've seen on YouTube and other places saying that these guys can live in bowls and really small containers, and that is not true at all. You should definitely keep these guys in some sort of filtered tank like this. This is a 5-gallon tank, and honestly I'd say this is probably the minimum I would go for a betta fish. 2.5, that could work, but I wouldn't recommend it because unless you have really good filtration. Otherwise, that tank would be a nightmare for maintenance. You know, you'd be cleaning it every 2 days or every other day, you know. But, yeah, this is a 5-gallon tank, and this is pretty much ideal. I've seen betta fish in as large as 20-gallon tanks, but I personally would not go that high. I wouldn't go any higher than a 10. And, yeah, that'll keep them as happy as possible. So, alright, next is betta fish generally do well by themselves, and that's it. They can go in community tanks, but I would not recommend putting them in with other fish if you are a beginner aquarist, if I said that right. They do really well by themselves. You can put them with smaller fish, such as neon tetras, Cory catfish do really well with these guys. Shrimp, I have seen people put guppies in with them. And I've also seen maybe a dwarf gourami in with a betta fish. But other than that, there's not really a whole lot of fish that are compatible with these guys. And even those fish that I just mentioned sometimes aren't compatible. Like, as some of you may know, I put 2 Cory cats in here a few weeks ago, and the betta fish ended up ripping their fins, and he kept flaring at them all the time, so I had to take them out. So be very cautious if you plan on trying to put other fish with your betta, and make sure as soon as you put them in that you stay near the tank and watch it for a little bit to make sure that everything's okay and they're getting along. Because if they're not, you're going to end up with some dead fish. Okay, so filtration for bettas, they do not like a really strong current. You have to keep the water level, not the water level, what am I saying? The current down. So if a filter with flow rate adjuster on it would be great for these guys. Like, I have the Whisper, I think it's a 10-gallon filter, and it's got a flow rate switch on the back so I can control how fast the water comes out. And with tanks like this, 5-gallon and under, you really don't need that much filtration with a betta fish in there. As you can see, it's down maybe half. That filter's halfway turned up on the flow, and this water's pretty clean, so not a huge deal. But yeah, just make sure you keep that flow rate down for these guys. If you plan on having a betta fish, you do need a heater. Well, I can't stress that enough. You need a heater. These guys will probably not survive if you just stick them in a bowl or in an unheated tank, unless you live out in like Arizona or something and it's always hot. The water temperature should usually, I'd say anywhere from 78 to 82 is ideal. I have seen people go higher and lower than that, but in that general area is going to be best. Let's see, what do I want to talk about next? Oh, while I'm thinking about it, I'm sorry this tank's kind of bare. I'm actually getting ready to rescape it and put some more plants in here, which is why I'm sure you'll notice I took that cave out, and I added this piece of driftwood in today when I was doing my water change. I'm going to end up adding some more plants in here, probably tomorrow, so it'll be looking better pretty soon, but I'm sorry that it's bare right now. Food for betas. A lot of people have misconceptions about feeding betas too. I'm going to explain what I do and what I think is best, and you guys can take that information however you want. So, I feed this guy twice a day, 2 pellets in the morning and 2 pellets at night. I throw in bloodworms as a supplement every maybe couple days, you know, because he really likes bloodworms. Maybe every day if I'm feeling crazy. But yeah, a lot of the pellet packages that you get will have instructions on the back, and they'll say feed beta fish 3 to 4 pellets twice or 3 times a day. And that is not right at all. You should never go by the instructions on beta food, because that is way too much food for these guys. Their stomach is only as big as their eyeball. So, see if you can see. This camera really has a tough time focusing, I'm sorry. But his eyeball is not very big at all. And that's the size of his stomach, which means that if you feed him 4 pellets at a time, twice a day, that's 8 pellets a day, he's gonna end up being really constipated. So, like I said, I feed this guy maybe 4 pellets a day max. I also do flakes every now and then because he likes flakes. I would not recommend flakes as a primary food for betas because their mouths are actually shaped to where they grab food off the surface. Like their mouths are shaped to where they attack their food, and flakes are just not ideal. But I mean, if your beta likes flakes, yeah. But other than that, I'd say pellet food mainly. For treats, like I already mentioned, bloodworms are good. Also, you can feed them brine shrimp. And that's about it, honestly. I feed this guy peas maybe once a week, just like I do the goldfish. Take a frozen pea and make sure you de-shell it before you feed it to him, and take the inside part and maybe throw a couple pinches in there once a week, and that just helps clear out his system so he can digest food easier. So yeah. Alright, compatibility, I missed this. Alright. No, I did talk about this. But I did forget to mention one thing. Betas, male betas anyway, can never be kept with another male. They will fight and they will kill each other. So, if you're thinking about keeping them 2 males together, I would not. A male can be kept with a female under the right circumstances. The fish that you're wanting to put together have to be ready to mate, and you need to be very cautious when putting them together even then. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and leave your comment down below and let me know what you guys have for a beta tank setup. You know, what size tank, what you feed him. Just leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have. Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for taking the time to do that. Please like and check out some of my other videos if you feel up to it. I'll catch you next time. Thanks. Peace out.